on now.
Got it, as it says on there. Well, very good. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight, and obviously a special welcome to Matt, KB3JGB, and brand new licensee, which is awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff. So glad that you could join us here tonight, and glad you want to be part of Field Day. That's great. So, Matt, I don't know how much you've read about it, but by being in Newham, you are eligible to work our GOTA station, to get on the air station, and which is for new hams, and that's hams that have gotten their license since last Field Day, and also for people who have been relatively inactive. So we have Travis, N3YLI, who's going to run the GOTA station for us, and Greg is going to be able to get on there too, and also you. So we got 3 of you right here together, so that's great. So your contacts are worth 5 points rather than 1. So we appreciate that extra score. So that's all good stuff. Okay, well, you guys probably got the survey that I sent out, and most of you here have answered, and I appreciate that. Matt, I will send you one, and it just basically is going to ask for what kind of times are you going to be there, and it's also going to ask what equipment you're going to bring, and don't worry about that. Just put down for your times. You're going to be able to be there the whole time. You're going to stay overnight or whatever. So just kind of we know where people are with participation.
And Ron had forwarded it to me already. So
Yeah, I sent that already.
Oh, you already got it?
Yeah.
A couple minutes ago.
Yeah, I'm never this expedient with my wife. Don't worry. Debbie never gets this benefit.
Okay, well, thank you, Ron, for doing that, and thank you for inviting Matt on here too. So that's all good stuff. I did see that when I sat down here. Very good. Well, Bill and I were up at the site today. I was chatting with him. He said he didn't have any comments to do on the rules or the points. Any changes on that, Bill? You have anything for us?
I just have a couple things I'll do quickly. Can you hear me okay?
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, great. I did mess with the volume and got it turned up a little bit. I'm not going to go through everything, just to clarify a couple things. Right now, before we start, we at 2 o'clock, I should say, when we start at Field Day, we'll have 1,550 points already, just for the pre-event things. And it looks like we're going to do really well, better than last year on the rest of the ones that come in while we're operating. The only one that seems open right now, I think, is message handling, and we'll have to work on that. But I think everything else is covered.
Bill, your audio's dying again.
Sorry, I look away. I read and it goes away. So I think we're covered on everything. We get up to bonus points for 5 youth. I'm sure we're going to cover that very easily. And the only other thing I want to mention I was very confused about last week was on the multiplier for the number of stations. And it's not a multiplier, it's bonus points. It's 100 points per transmitter, up to 20 transmitters. And the rule on transmitters is cannot have more than 1 transmitter on the same band mode at the same time. So that's how you can get to 20, even though you have less than 20 options.
Same band mode.
Same band mode.
So we can be operating phone and digital at the same time on the same band.
Correct. I'm sorry about the confusion on that.
No problem. No problem. Same band. So you can't have 2 phone stations on at the same time.
Exactly.
On a band. On a band.
On a band.
Which we wouldn't anyway.
That would
be so that's a real positive. So George, I don't remember what our total points were for last year, and you don't have to give me that if you have it now. Be interested.
Well, I'll get them in a second.
Or you could just send it to me, because I'll make a spreadsheet to compare last year versus anticipated this year.
Oh, okay. Let me do that.
Hey, Bill, could I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Do you have all of the information needed to get the bonus points for WinLink contact? Because I'm all set up for that. I just don't know any of the information.
I could accumulate that, and if you're set up, and I would appreciate it, because I'm not set up, but I would like to be able to.
I might have to. Most of the WinLink stuff is on HF. so I may have to just borrow an antenna for a minute and a half. But
We'll be
if
able,
that,
yeah,
if that gets us points, it may be worth it, especially when bands are fizzling out.
it's a lot of points and they can be prearranged. Because we can get a lot of them through the EOCs. So over the next couple of weeks, a lot of those guys are away this weekend up in New York. But I will get Lancaster, I will get Westchester. I know they're going to be working. So we just need to know their frequencies, and they'll be on 2 meters as well. So we'll be able to do it a couple ways.
Okay.
One of them will be is getting to if someone knows the section coordinators, that is a bonus point. So I'll have to look up, find out what if they're going to be taking it. I think it used to be BIG. I don't think he's doing it anymore.
Okay, well, I know I can get BIG from this area. He's pretty easy to get. But
Okay.
but just make sure when you ask him about the 2 meter, if you want to do 2 meter, that makes it easy because we don't have to interfere with someone's antenna. But 2 meter, a lot of times they use Vera FM. So can you find out the mode that they're going to be listening and transmitting the 2 meter wind link?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That'll be easy to get set up through CCAR.
Okay.
I can get all that information.
Okay. Yeah. If you can let me know ahead of time, I'll do some test transmissions from the house, make sure I'm squared away, and then we can shoehorn that in when we're able to.
That was our only open bonus points. So
Wow.
So that's pretty much all I had. Sorry about the confusion last week. So whether you're for 5A, we're 500 points for transmitters, and if we're 6A, we're 600.
Very good. Cool. Well, I'm glad you were able to straighten it out about being on the same band. You can have two rigs in the same band,
Right.
but just on different modes.
The other thing that I did confuse things, and I looked it up today. It's in the miscellaneous rules. You can only operate one call sign on a transmitter, except for GOTA and the free stations, I believe. But so on our main stations, we can't operate as K3 DTS on the main transmitters. If you make any contacts for field day on a transmitter on a call sign, that's the only call sign.
Okay.
So that was the one thing that does change some of your thoughts
For moving around. Yeah. Okay.
but we can still move cables.
Yeah, and we will. We'll do that. Okay, cool.
Okay, so that's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. Appreciate that. Very good.
Ron, did you hear Corbin?
Yeah, I heard Corbin here.
Okay.
Okay. Next I have on the agenda is about dinner. Phil, do you have any updates or comments on dinner?
I am just waiting for a approximate head count, and
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're on the screen off in the weeds. I'll let you in. WA3VEE.
just waiting for a more of a head count type of thing, and I probably I'll probably talk to him probably I guess by next weekend.
All right. So hopefully everybody who's coming will have answered me or not by next weekend, and we'll go with that head count, maybe plus a couple.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we're in the 20 range, I think we'll do 30.
Good.
Yeah, nothing the matter with leftovers.
No, absolutely not. Cool. Okay. Very good.
I think we probably will need a place as another cooler for hot stuff. We don't necessarily have to keep it refrigerated, just as long as it just stays hot.
Well, then what we'll do is I know Wayne's got those big white coolers, and I'd asked him for 2 of them for cold drinks.
Okay.
Maybe I'll just ask him for the 3rd one.
Okay.
All right, and we'll have that for our hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's a good plan. I just want to throw out there also, Phil, that the cooler in the back of the van is heated and cooled, so you can always keep it hot in something like that too. You've seen the size.
Yeah. That might be a little small, but
It may be.
Sorry, I'm late. Sorry, I'm
That's-
late. But I missed. I had a problem with the Zoom. It had to update. So
Hi, Alan. That's weird. I can hear you, but
You're on twice.
I was on twice.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
over there and down there.
yeah, I had a
He's
I had a
echoing.
problem launching this.
Well, yeah, you
I think you got 2 applications launched.
you need to shut one down. Otherwise, you're going to get echo and screw everything up.
There you go.
Now you got one,
That's better.
but now we
Yeah.
can't see it.
That's why we
Yeah.
said that's better.
Well, I'm still working on getting the Zoom, because I had to do a Zoom update, and it took a long time to load.
If you want to be seen, go to the bottom left there and click on the video camera thing. There you are.
There you are.
Here I am.
Now we
I
got it.
know my shack is dark.
No, it's fine, Alan. It's just it was weird because you were talking and I'm like, you're muted. I didn't realize.
Yeah,
you
well,
were twice.
I kept clicking on the link,
That'll do it.
and so I started like 2 Zoom sessions. So,
Right. That's what
and
happened.
I think that's what Jim has said, so that's why the echo was going on.
Sure.
Mhm.
So are we done with dinner?
I think so.
Yeah,
What are we having for dessert? Just kidding.
nothing.
More pig shots.
Popcorn.
You're gonna be full after all that, guys. My goodness.
So the summary here, because I was off doing these other things here, letting people in and all that kind of stuff, it come late. But the quantity, again, the summary is the quantity is going to be 30, is it? Just so we capture for the notes here.
It's kind of what kind of head count we have by next weekend.
Yeah. I'm gonna wait till I get all my surveys back in and hopefully we're right around that number. And
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
and we're gonna get an extra cooler from Wayne. Wayne has those big white coolers. We're gonna grab 2 of those for cold drinks. We'll put one down at the hospitality tent and bring one up by all the stations, and we'll put cold drinks in those. And if he'll bring this 3rd cooler, we'll put any of the leftovers in that cooler. We hot leftovers rather than cold leftovers.
Good.
Okay, well, good.
Got it.
Phil, thank you. Thanks so much.
No problem.
All right. Next thing, our logging network. And I know that Travis and Greg met. They had their own Zoom call this week and worked out a lot of that. So I'll turn it over to you guys.
Yeah, Ron, can you enable screen sharing?
Yeah, hold on a second here. Or how to do this? Let's see here.
If you make Travis a co-host, it'll let him or a panelist.
Yeah. You got it, man.
All right. So here's what we started talking about. This is kind of a layout of the site. And I passed this in front of George, and he kind of agreed to everything that was going on. The concept that we're looking at networking wise is to have the main network be up in this area somewhere. It kind of depends upon where the cable is going to go. Greg already has or is in the process of acquiring a fiber cable that we're going to run along this way and down into the digital station. And that's going to be the network connection down to the digital in that area. And then we'll run Wi-Fi up here for the various locations.
And you can run over the fiber cable?
We're going to string it up in the trees.
So I actually have an update on that. I picked up a second fiber cable. I've got almost 1,000 feet, and I was looking at the site. If both of them arrive, I know one of them will be here. If both of them arrive, we don't have to cross any roads. I actually measured all
this
the
way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can lay that fiber down and then just go all through grass, and I can get over to the digital tent. And I'm crossing my fingers, man. I'm hoping we can do it.
We'll still
Otherwise,
we'll still have to cross their driveway. So we'll still have to go up in a tree to get across the lines' driveway.
oh, I actually went behind that house at the top of the picture.
Oh, okay.
I went all the way around. It's around, according to ArcGIS, it's around 700 feet, 750. and I'll have 1,000 if it all comes in. If not, it'll be more like 500 feet. I've guaranteed 500 feet will be here. The other 492 is on its way from China.
Okay. So George, we may need to talk with John then about going around his. You're muted, George.
Muted.
You're muted, George.
Sorry about that. There we go. I may be talking to John tomorrow, which won't be a problem.
Okay.
Thank you.
And so, yeah, everything will be Wi-Fi, basically up at the second level, going to the various locations. Bill, okay. Do you have a laptop that you're running your VHF UHF station with? Oh, he's not. I just looked at the camera and he's not at his camera station right now. So we'll come back to that. So I know that one of the things we were looking at that we needed to get was lining up laptops. And I know George started going down that path. So it looks like we're in the need for probably another 4 laptops.
Okay.
I still have to do my inventory over on my side. We'll find out from Bill if he's got a laptop that he's set for there. Corbin and
Adam.
Greg. No, Adam, you're right. Corbin and Greg or Adam you guys are running your own laptops for that, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Right.
I have one for 40.
Okay.
Yeah, I did put that on the list here. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So the one thing that we'll have to talk through later on is making sure that everybody's got the software on it. And not being that familiar with the software, I don't know if anybody else is familiar with N3FJP in regards to running it in a networked environment. I am not, but I could talk to Red Rose Repeater, who I did the winter field day with, and they do run it in a networked environment. Unless there's somebody on the call that already knows how that software works in the networked environment.
Yeah, it's relatively easy. You just have to be on the same Wi-Fi, and it just runs over. I think it runs over port 80. So it's very simple, and you really don't have to do much setup. You just have to be on the same network.
Okay, well, that obviously that won't be the issue. Do the other stations have to have the license installed on them? No, it's just the one server does.
I know. I'm pretty sure everyone has to have the same license key because I remember doing that last year with what's his name, Daniel.
Daniel.
Okay. All right, George. I'll work with you to get the license key, and I've got a couple laptops here that I'm going to start working on.
Okay.
And figure out how we're going to do that. CR has given us a UPS. That's the word.
Right. Yes.
That the network will be up and running on. We're still working through the logistics of whether we're going to actually run a larger computer that would be the server for the FJP software, or if we're going to be using just a laptop for that. We're still working through the logistics of that. But George, I'll work with you to get the key, install it on a couple laptops, and see if how that ultimately works. But yeah, we're going to need to get a laptop for the 20-meter station, a laptop for the 15-meter station. I've got the GOTA station. That's not a problem. Did Bill pop back into the window?
He was in and out. I think he has one, but we'll make double sure because I think he was running FT8 last year. Oh, there he is.
Bill, do you have a laptop to run your station?
Yes, I do, and I have a spare one I can bring.
Okay, yeah, if you could bring a spare one, that'd be great.
Nice.
It's not real powerful.
Okay, and then that should give us everything we need to do. The GOTA station is going to be running its own, and I guess that's the other licensing question is, can we run that license on that machine even though it's not talking on the network to everything?
Yes.
We did that last year.
Yeah, it's no problem. You just turn off the networking portion and you put your own call sign in there. It's their own call sign. Perfect.
All right. So the other thing that George and I were talking about when we were up at the site on Sunday was the concept of making sure everybody knows how to use the software. I know it's relatively easy to use, but there's still some anomalies that need to happen. Number one, making sure that your call sign's entered when you're tracking your stuff. Is that something that we want to do, you know, half-hour Zoom call on this is how N3FJP works?
I think
I'm
that's
Okay.
a good idea.
I'm seeing a fair number of nods, so we'll once I get playing with it, we'll see what we can do to try set something up for maybe that week right before go live.
Good.
I keep calling it go live, but before field day.
Yeah,
So
sounds good.
okay.
Does the software run as an evaluation? Like if I were to bring up 2 virtual machines on like one of my computers, could I set up one as the server and one up as a client? Like will it let you do that without the license code, or do you have to put in a license code to do
No,
that?
no, you could do that. It's like first like 50 contacts or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
As I say, I'd like to get an understanding of it anyway from a networking side, just to have an idea of how it's working.
It's not really like a server versus client mentality. It's more like you share each other's log file.
Yeah.
So as you go and you get a contact, it propagates that out to all the other clients
Good.
on the network. It's pretty simple to use, but efficient as well.
Okay. So I was gonna say is if somebody went through it, it wouldn't be hard to fire up something like OBS and do a screencast of like how to basically like a 5 or 10 minute, here's how to use N3FJP, and publish a link on YouTube and then say, everybody go here, make sure you understand this. Unless you guys want to do it as a live Q&A session, it's up to you.
No, I like that idea. Let's maybe do just a YouTube. That'd probably be fine. Okay. Any questions or anything? Thoughts, comments, snide remarks about me or George?
Travis, do you think we should put everything inside that enclosed trailer? I know it'll be a little hotter in there, but
So yeah, it all depends upon what the fiber run is. So what we had talked about is if the fiber run worked lengthwise, we would have it inside your trailer, but that's where the network MDF closet would be in there. If not, and we ended up doing the 500 and had to go over the road and all that stuff, then we'd probably put it in the van.
okay.
So
Sounds good.
And CR, I think, said he was also going to provide us 100 amp hour 12 volt lead acid for the other end down at the digital tent, because there is
down
a
at the
power.
digital. Yes.
Right.
So I've got a 12 volt switch that'll run off of off 100 amp hours. That'll last forever, like more than a couple days.
Good. All right. Anything else, Travis? Is that pretty much?
I think that's it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, one of the other things, just not completely network related, I'm going to go back into sharing the screen. One of the things that George and I had talked about was the GOTA station is going to be back behind George's trailer, next to the lifelong boat, the dry boat that has more shrubbery growing in it than around it. And Harvey, we're going to take your end fed and we're going to run it to the trees
that way,
down this way. Yeah. If that works for you, Harvey, or you, we lost your video.
Anything you guys want to use out of the van, it's totally, you guys can have free reign.
Okay. Will you have that there Friday for setup?
All the stuff, everything that I'm bringing minus the air compressor lives in the van. It's always there.
Okay.
So it'll be there. The organization is relatively simple, but I'll try to make it even easier and lay everything out.
All right, cool. Okay.
That's great.
Yeah, we'll want to run that Friday. So
what's
all right.
What's the NFED going to be used for?
That's the GOTA station. So is it 80 through 10? Is that right, Harvey?
Okay.
No, it's 40 through 6.
40 through 6. Okay. Okay.
I have other antennas that will do 80 and more, but it's just all up to what you guys are looking for. It's up to you. I can do 80 through 10. I can do 160 through 20, and I can do 40 through 6.
Well, the 80-meter antenna is very near where GOTA is, so it won't be a problem to throw them a wire over, because you can see that. You see where GOTA on the screen, GOTA, and then look right below is 80 meters. Well, that cable is right there, so that's easy. Something else I want to tell all you guys, and because a lot of you have been up there at the site, where you see it says GOTA, and then there's a trailer right to the left of it. That's my trailer. And if you look to the left again, there's a vehicle there. That's a motorhome. That's gone. So I don't know,
it's gone now.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's permanently gone. I'm hoping to see John tomorrow and ask him, like, is his customer just out for a little bit and coming back, or is he not Is he just gone? Did he stop his rental? I don't know that. I'll find out. But no matter what, we were talking about, Travis, putting your pop-up tent right behind the trailer, but we couldn't move it. Now, tomorrow, I'm going to hook my truck on that and move it forward, 5 or 6 feet. So now you'll have more room behind it.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So, and I mean, that won't encroach in anything. And, moving it 5 feet is not a big deal.
Yeah.
So, cool.
Okay.
Travis, I was working on a network diagram too, just to get all the runs, all the different capture all that equipment. So
Cool.
I'll make sure that to you this week.
All right. Awesome. And Greg, I'm not gonna, since you picked up that other Unify, I'm gonna go ahead and unless you want me to configure that access point, I don't know that we need to.
It might be nice to have it as a backup. It's up to you. I was going to just call the SID W3R.
Okay.
To make it super easy. So then everybody just looks for that on their machine.
Yeah.
I have, since it's a Unify mesh, one of the things I realized I grabbed when we threw it out of work, I have a 12 dBi panel antenna for 5.8 megahertz. So if worse came to worse and if we had to, we could probably use the Unifies to mesh over to the digital site if we ever had to go like full Wi-Fi. I'm just trying to think of backup plan number 1, backup plan number 2 type things. So, all right.
Okay.
Sorry.
I don't see the admit thing here. So
that's good.
Hold
right.
on, let me take a look around. I don't see on the admit.
So you guys are going to be using for the access point one of those Unify. That's Ubiquiti.
Yep.
Unify. So
Yeah,
I mean, that's a really good hotspot, right?
They're pretty solid. I mean, we've used them at work. They're not on the board with like Cisco or anything, but they're for consumer grade. Yeah, they're great. They're like a step above.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's better than like just a consumer router.
Yeah.
Hi, CR.
Well,
oh, nice. Okay. Very good. Well, guys, thanks so much for the work you've done on this. That's awesome. We're all set. We'll have good solid signal to all the computers. So thank you. Okay. So you folks probably saw the little station layout I put in there, and I just inadvertently just labeled them as stations. Like I put mine as 80 and then Chuck's is 40 and Ron's is 20. It doesn't matter. We can swap those out. But of course we're 5A. So the digital station counts on our 5. So we want to, make sure that we don't have 5 like phone transmitters on at the same time. And then the digital won't have any room to operate. So that's why I set it up the way I did. I put mine as 80 and 10. So you just have 4 on at once. The other thing I was thinking is about a 160 meter antenna. Actually, Bill and I looked at that today, and we were just wondering if we could put up a 160 meter dipole. I actually found that I had a large roll of number 14 stranded copper insulated wire, and I think it's 1,000 foot. I mean, there's plenty there. So for an 80 meter dipole, we would need 260 feet. The question is where we would want to run it. We didn't know if it was going to interfere with other antennas. We're thinking of running it basically right over the top of us.
How much activity do you think it's going to be on 160?
Don't know, Alan. Yeah, I'll go. Thank you. Bill and I looked at it today, and basically the antenna would pass over top of the GOTA station, and then my trailer, and then that motorhome you see there, and where it says 15 meters generator, you go right across there because you got the tree line on both sides, and you can pick up a tree on both sides of that and run that. But I've never worked 160 during field day. We've never had an antenna, so Alan, I don't have an answer for that.
Yeah, I'm just thinking it might not be a hot band. I don't know. It's been a long time since I worked. Last year I was sort of standing around at the field day, but last time I worked field day was 20 years ago. 40.
Well, we didn't have 160 meter capability. And I don't think any of us bothered to look down there to see what was there, because even if it was a signal there, we weren't going to be able to work them. So it was just an idea, because we have the antenna that we could put together.
Would it be would it be better to run the antenna from, say, a tree by the GOTA station across the lower lot into that tree line where the 25-6 is?
Well, then your 160 meter drop's going to end up in the middle of the lower level.
Yeah, but we could put a pop-up down there for someone to sit. I mean, it might offset a little bit of interference. That's why I was thinking about it.
Yeah, I was a little bit concerned about that antenna being so parallel 80 and 40. And it's
That's what I was concerned
Yeah.
with, Chuck.
less than a quarter wave away at
That's
that
what I'm
frequency.
concerned about.
What mode would you be intending to run on 160?
I mean, you can run all three. You can run Digi and you can run sideband and CW. You can run all three on it.
Well, I was just thinking that you get I don't know about the descents. That's all I'm thinking about. I do have the ability to run a vertical on 160, but it's going to be extremely high Q.
Right.
And you need a 100-watt transmitter, not what I have. But that high Q and being cross polarized might help us with descents is all.
Well, Harvey, I'll have my 991. We could run 160 off that down at the Digi station if we wanted. Theoretically.
Travis, you doing that? You're muted. Going.
Yes, I am doing that.
Yeah. Okay. Right there, where you have it right now. Now back that off. Where's the middle of that antenna? Does it end up right about where those trailers are? Yeah. Okay. Well, that's not too bad, because now see, if that antenna lead comes down there, you can just bring it right up the hill.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's not a biggie.
Or just have someone sit between those two trailers.
The problem with that is all these trailers are down below. I'll call them very active. You could have a customer come in right in the middle of field day and grab one of those. I see these trailers going in and out all the time.
Gotcha.
So
If you had a real,
what was that?
if you had a really good antenna tuner, you can tune your 80-meter dipole to 160. I do that all the time.
I know, but it's a compromise.
Yeah, but the problem with that is that
you're not
those
gonna make-
bands are active at the same time.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only time 160 or 80 are active is in the dark.
In the dark. It's gonna be at night. Yeah. My
Yeah.
thought was that maybe like if 15 was gone, so you could run, 160, 80, and 40 and 20. So you'd still have your four CW/sideband transmitters going at the same time. That was my thought on that. And also because we had the antenna wire. So
Well, let me tell you, I was doing POTA 2 weeks ago when I was camping. The bands were completely shot. And even with 10 watts, I was still getting out in digital on 20 meters with my loop.
Yeah.
nice.
There was nobody heard on voice on 20 meters, but I still got
Wow.
like 15 contacts in a half hour doing a POTA. So even if the bands are dead, you're still gonna be able to do it on digital.
Right. Yes. No. I
Field
know.
day is a different matter, though.
Right, because
Everybody
everyone's
is going to be on field day,
Yeah.
much to the chagrin of all the people that do nets.
Yeah, exactly. Well, to get back to the 160, so Chuck, you're thinking if we run it over top of the trailer and the motorhome that's there going straight across, you're concerned that that's going to be in line with the 80 and 40.
Yeah, it's going to be parallel to 80
Yeah.
and 40, and it's also going to be pumping RF straight down into all our power lines and coax cables and everything. It's stringing all over the place.
Yeah.
It could
And
end
you
up
have-
in a real RF mess.
Is
Nice
there
thing
any
about dipoles is they're away from everything.
You haven't tested 160 yet, have you, on site
No, not at all.
or interference? Yeah.
No, we have
Is
not.
there any reason you can't run it along the tree line on the left side of the screen down low? I mean, the difference between 40 feet and 10 feet is kind of negligible on 160. Would that get it farther away and perpendicular to the 80 and make that viable? Because I know where you're seeing that line right there, you can easily go another, 20 feet left and you're still not in the thick of it. So if we just did some improv stuff and I mean, couldn't that work as well, or is the length not right?
Now, Harvey, you talking about where Travis has a line strung right now?
Kind of, but the bottom part of that line, I'd push it left quite a bit more, 20, 30 feet left, and just try to basically follow that white line. And even if you didn't have hangers, you didn't have tree rockets, I mean, you could just improv that at 10 feet and you're going to NVIS just the same as if you're at 40 feet. I just don't know if the length is there, but I'm just trying to work with what you guys are proposing here and seeing if there's a
Sure
easier way that doesn't interfere with trailers, is farther away from our coax and our power lines. And down low, you're going to get some attenuation, but that may not be a bad thing when we got all that wire in the air.
Mhm.
Yeah, either 10 feet or 40 feet, as you say, it's virtually on the ground as far as 160 is concerned.
Yeah.
But that's something you could improv at head height, reachable height, no ladders, no fancy apparatuses, as long as you have a way to feed it. It'd also be pretty easy to tune on site because since it's in reach, hedge trimmers could trim that dipole.
Yeah, right.
If we had another radio, you could even put that radio at Hospitality.
Yeah, it's close to, the center's close to it.
So that's 130 right there.
Yeah,
Roughly.
so if you were to run the antenna that way, just like you show it, the coax drop would be right at Hospitality. That's true.
Yeah, but how do you power it? You have a generator down there, but it's probably going to be a noisy.
It's a noisemaker. It's a noise.
Or battery.
You only have to power it for 8 hours. Battery will do it.
Right.
I don't think you're going to have 8 hours of coverage anyway on 160. So
Probably correct. You're probably correct.
battery's a good plan.
I don't know. I wanted to throw it out there just because we don't have to buy anything. We've got the wire and I've got insulators. It'd be no problem to put that together and we just have to figure where to string it up.
We've got plenty of battery power to run between all of us to get that running.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you'll exhaust the band soon, before you exhaust the batteries. So I think that's a good approach.
Chuck, what do you think about the antenna being where it is, where Travis has it right now? Would that have less effect on everything else that we've got?
Oh, yeah.
So that's the way we're going to need to run. We're going to need to run it perpendicular to the other two dipoles.
Well,
Yeah.
but that's only half length.
Oh, I know that. I know that. Yeah. Right.
We're going to need to cheat it up a little bit higher and
Correct.
up into here,
Right.
almost where the 40 end is,
Very close.
There you go.
in order to get that.
Mhm.
Unless you twin lead that and use a tuner. I mean, if you get to 200 feet, you're close enough.
Yeah, plus you could easily, stick a couple of coil forms up in there, load it a bit. Like put some, mid-span, or even in the center. Just center load it with some inductance.
I have a couple of those coils. You saw those in that multiband antenna I have. I think it's an 8040, I think. So I don't know if those inductors are going to be the right value or not.
Well, there is no right value because we don't need a trap. It's just a matter of having some inductance there. It won't help efficiency. Longer wire is more efficient than a loaded one, but
Right.
if we have a length issue, loaded is better than nothing.
Correct.
But again, like he says, if you use twin lead and a tuner, that ceases to be a problem because that's plenty long enough.
Yeah. Right. All right. That's something if we do it, we're going to have to do it Friday. We're not going to mess with it on the Saturday. During Friday setup, we'll say,
Yeah.
okay, we're going to do this and we'll get the thing in the air and see if it works.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Sounds good. One of the things I also noted on here, folks, was I put, where did I put it on here? I put, Ron, are you able to complete your station? I think you said, yes, you're gonna be able to bring everything else.
Yeah, the 440 we used last year is in fine shape.
Yeah.
The second 440 is coming along very well. It's a little soft on output. It doesn't have the full 100 watts on 15 and 10, but the rest of it is pretty good. And once I just clean up some of the pots, I think you'll have that one also. So you have, right now it's looking very promising that you're going to have two 440s and
Well-
power supplies and tuners to go with them.
Bill told me today that he has an FT 840 that he's going to put in his truck. So we also have that as a backup.
Cool.
So we're good on backup radios. I was concerned that we were going to go in with no backups, but by having that 840, that ISO 840, we're good. And if you can bring that second 440, then I mean, if we have two radios go down, we got two spares.
I have
How
an
much power
830
does that
also.
one
but-
make?
I'm sorry, Chuck, I doubled with you. Go
How
ahead.
much power does that 440 make at present?
The main 440 we used last year as a backup, 100 watts on all bands. And the
What
second
about the other one?
what's that?
What about the other one?
The other one is about 50 to 75 watts on 15 and 20, 100 watts on the lower bands.
It would be fine.
Yeah.
Even
You're
if
not
you
even
get more power.
losing, right? You're not even losing 3 dB, so
Hang
Yeah.
on.
probably not a biggie.
Ron, Phil is waiting to get back in.
Oh, shoot. I don't see him on the admit.
I got
tab.
him.
Got, okay, that's right. Yeah, I haven't, you're still sharing.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't see him.
That'd be why.
All right.
All right.
The FTD X10 for GOTA, does that include a tuner or do we need a tuner for that? And
We'll need a tuner for that. That probably has an internal, which we don't want to fool with. We like
Okay.
externals. So yes, we will need an external for that one. And who told me today they had one? They were bringing one. Keith, I think Keith's out. He's bringing a tuner.
ILS?
Yes, ILS.
Yeah, I'm here. I have a LDG 100 watt tuner here. Jumper cable and everything. I can bring that.
Excellent. Thank you. Yeah, bring that along. That's great.
It's already in my pile.
And then do we need another tuner for the K3?
We'll need one for the K3, yes.
So we're still need one. Or Ron,
Yeah.
for the second, for your 440, you're good. So that's the 20. It's the 15 now we need another tuner for.
What kind of radio?
K3.
Alcraft K3.
I have an MFJ, I forget the number on it, one of their, what do they call it? Deluxe or something tuners.
Versatuner.
Yeah, Versatuner, I guess. That's what I used before I got the Johnson Viking one. So it's good, 100 watt tuner.
Excellent.
Cool.
Perfect.
Jim, I love your shirt.
Excellent.
What?
I love your shirt.
Oh, thank you.
I'm all about mooses and mises and stuff. So
Yes, don't moose with me.
That's cool.
And now I'm not going to be there till about noon on Saturday, but if that's good enough for that tuner.
Well, you don't have to transmit till 2 o'clock.
would you be able to bring it to breakfast Friday?
Yes.
If you could bring it to breakfast, then I can take it and hold on to it. If that's all right with you.
Yep,
Awesome.
that's good.
Sold. Thank you. Good stuff. So we're looking pretty good on equipment with this extra stuff. So I think we're pretty good shape. And see on my number 6 there, shelters. That's where we're going to be. That's where we're short right now.
I have a pop-up, like I said, George, in my email. I wasn't planning on bringing that stuff. Just a second, Abigail. But if you need it, I can throw it in the van.
Does it have sides by chance, Harvey?
Oh, I have the side package somewhere. I don't, I'll try to find it.
Cool. If you could, that's the big thing is that we're looking for something that's got sides.
I have a
Just in
pop-up.
case, but it's going to be beautiful and dry and,
Don't need it, but
Well, you won't need it if I bring it.
that'd
Exactly.
be fine.
If I don't
That'd be
bring
fine.
it, you'll be needing it.
So bring two then.
Well, I'll take a look and I'll update George if I can find it. I haven't used it in a very long time.
Okay, that's fine, Harvey. Thank you.
Thanks, Harvey.
Thank you.
I got a pop-up that no sides that I haven't used in a long time. Not sure what condition it's in, but it's, I think what the standard size, 8x8 or 10x10.
10-10. Yeah.
We can use that for the shower tent when it rains.
Oh,
I
good.
like that.
It's not gonna rain.
Well, I mean,
It hasn't rained in like 30 days, so
Yep.
it's not gonna rain.
Keep talking.
yeah,
Statistically, we're up for it though.
you got it. You got it. It's like a baseball hitter who's, 0 for 20, he's due, right?
Some nice
Yeah.
little hurricane will come coasting up the coast.
Yeah.
Would not be fun. All right, so Harvey, yours, you think have sides. You're going to let me know on that. Alan, no sides. Now, the other thing we can do, if you want, is where we're going to put the logging stuff, the network in that trailer that I have. I mean, there's a nice operating bench in there. Someone could operate out of there. The problem is it's travel trailer. You're going to need to have a fan going all the time. It could get a little stuffy in there, but that would be an operating position that's totally covered if you want to use that. So that's a possibility.
Yeah, and I think, George, when we set up the network, it's really just a network switch and a computer. That's pretty much it. That we can easily just slide off in the, and I saw how Chuck set up when we on the hot stage day.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I anticipated would be the same setup at that point in time. We can easily throw the network off to the left or even on the wire shelving that you've
That
got.
would be
That's
kind
not
of
a
an uncomfortable, that was okay for a little test, but it's.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of high.
Not anymore.
Oh, it isn't?
Not anymore. No.
Okay.
Travis, if I see you this week, you're going to come up at all this weekend?
I'm planning, yeah. If you're up there tomorrow, I'll be up there.
I'll be up there tomorrow. You'll see. It's totally different. It's on the other
Cool.
side now. It's desk height. I cut it down. So yeah, I was working on that today. So I'll put some finishing touches on tomorrow.
Cool.
So that'll be a nice little operating position. If someone wants to use that, it's not a problem. It's just that it could be hot if it's really cooking. Gonna need some fans. All right, that's kind of the only place that we're really hurting right now is for shelters, and especially if it rains. If it rains really hard, we're just going to be scrambling. We're going to be taking stuff inside enclosed areas, which is how it is. Yeah, we'll just have to deal with that when it happens. One of the things on the last Zoom call, I noticed about the tree branches that were where the hospitality tent's going to be set up. I said I was going to get a chipper or just haul them away, what have you. I went in the other day; they're gone. So John must already take care of them. So that's off our list. I also got an email from Martha today saying that she's going to make up signs for our individual stations. She just asked me, how would you like me to label them? So she said she has all the stencils that she used last year. So she said she'd do them for us. So
Awesome.
I'll tell her what we need and she'll do them for us. Also got a response from her saying that Joe and her were just going to stop up. So I was hoping that would change, but never can tell. But she said they're going to stop up at some point.
Well, he was on the round table last night. That's good.
Really? Oh, good. Very good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
He did not stay long because I talked to him today, said the intermod noise was making him crazy, that, out of frustration. So he did a short time and then shut off.
I know the intermods were really bad.
Yeah.
Last night was really good.
I was trying to talk to Harry BMX yesterday morning. I was mobile in Downingtown. He couldn't even hear me. He says, "No, just I'm sorry, you're just covered up." I'm like, okay. So,
George, how many shelters are you short?
well, we're short 3, and Harvey said he has a pop up. He's looking for sides. Alan has a pop up, but no sides. So that would be 2 that are taken care of. So then we would need one more spot.
Yeah, so are you counting my 12-foot enclosed trailer, the cargo trailer, just for bad weather? If there's even room for me to park it?
There is room for you to park it.
Yeah, plenty of room.
Yeah. I was figuring it more for bad weather. However, if we can't get enough pop-ups and you don't mind us just setting up in there, we'll just set up in there.
Okay, yeah, whatever. I'm gonna make it available all weekend, so.
Is that a ramp door on that or barn doors in the back?
That is a ramp door.
Ramp. That's fine. That's fine. But I mean, the best way to run those is everything open as you can, pop the back open and,
I have several little fans I can throw in the car. They help.
George,
Yes.
I will also have a pop-up tent for the VHF station. I may be able to borrow one more from Kevin. I will ask.
Okay, all right. Excellent.
Cool.
Chuck, what were you saying?
Pardon me?
I thought Chuck was getting ready to say something.
Oh,
I was just saying that I have several little fans that are about this big that I can bring along.
Well, I think we have 6 box fans up there. I think Joe might have bought them last year. There's
Okay.
a bunch of them on the rack in the trailer. I think there's 5 or 6 of them. So we'll
Bring
have
them up anyway. More fans is probably going to be better, especially if it's raining.
more the better. More the
Yeah,
better.
last year was really hot.
Yeah.
What about lights for evening and wee hours? I have some 2 LED battery operated lamps that I got for free from Uline with an order that I was planning to bring those, but I don't know. I've never used them. So I don't know how good they are, how long they'll last. But do we
I
need,
would strongly recommend headlights. At low level, they will run the entire field day. They're very inexpensive.
I second that. Headlamps are the best thing ever when you need to walk and use a bathroom or something.
Especially if you have red.
yeah,
yeah.
Hmm.
I use them too for portable all the time. Plus, the less lights you have, the less bugs you're attracting.
okay.
Wasn't somebody talking about using one of the 300 watt as a dummy load on the a preload on the generator?
That's what I'm bringing. I got a 2 light quartz work lamp that we could use to put on the generator to provide some light and to help put a load on it so it'll regulate.
You can always beam them up like Hollywood.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Field day, Camel Cross.
They
Well,
work
that-
great as decoys for the mosquitoes too. They'll go to that big light, not to your tents.
I could bring a big sodium vapor and light that whole area up like they.
Well, we could, now we want to use the mast on the light, on the generator, which is also a light trailer. We want to use it as a mast. We don't want to leave the lights on there, but that thing's got 4 lights on it. We were talking about taking them off, because they're going to suck up a lot of power off the generator too if we use those.
Mhm.
Yeah, but you don't have to turn them all on. You can turn one light on.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's right.
George, I could bring the desk lamps. I have those out in the garage all ready to
Yeah,
go.
if-
People
if-
still interested in those.
Yes, you
Those
had
like
said
did
that. I
last
think
year?
Cool.
Yeah, that would be great because we did use those.
All right, they're
I
out
think
there
everyone-
already.
Yeah, all of them got used, I think. Yeah. which
I
is
have
great.
2 as well.
Excellent. Very good. Boy, we did good tonight.
Yeah.
I was a little concerned on the shelters, but it looks like we're getting them covered. I think we're good. Anything else you guys can think of?
So along the lines of extension cords and labeling the extension cords so that you make sure you get yours back. If anybody is interested, I can print up self-laminating, horrible lighting to see it. But self-laminating cable labels. I can print them up with your call sign or name or whatever. Just shoot me an email and let me know, and I'm more than happy to do that for you.
Okay.
So I can do that from work, and I can, print up 3 dozen for you if you want, whatever. So I just want to make sure everybody gets their stuff back.
Excellent. Travis, count me in on that. Set
Yeah.
some up for
I'll
me.
send you an email.
Yes.
Okay.
With
Yeah.
coax and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How much extension cord do you need, George?
Or
I'm going to say, I think you said you had some 50s and some 100s. So
I know I have 50s and I know I got 25s because they're in the Christmas box.
yeah,
I'm
right.
not sure if I have 100, but I've got a bunch of 50s and
Okay.
they're really heavy. So if you need heavy duty 50s, I mean,
Yeah.
they're thick. I'm not sure what gauge. They could be 8 or 10 gauge.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what, if anybody who has, extension cords, throw them in your vehicle.
Yeah.
And make sure they're labeled. And if we need them, we'll just put a call out like, hey, who's got 50-foot cord? And we're pretty much going to know all this on Friday because once we set all the stations up and run all our cords, we're gonna be pretty much done. You know, you might need one more, but Friday's gonna tell a tale whenever we set up. Of how much cord we're gonna need, and coax, how much coax we're gonna need.
Mhm.
We had talked on the last Zoom call about a hand washing station. And we were going back and forth about the 5-gallon jugs. I realized that at church in our storage garage, there's 2 of the orange 5-gallon jugs out there. They're just sitting out there. So I'm gonna pack them and bring them, and they'll be full of water. So we'll have multiple jugs out there for hand washing. I think that's important. And we have that, especially because we're having we're having a decent dinner on Saturday, so we're gonna look grubby for that. And I'll make sure there's paper towels and soap.
Phil, where do you think, based on the map, where do you think they're gonna want to put the food?
I would think the hospitality tent.
Okay.
I don't know, unless George, you think we should do it up on the upper level?
No, I think having it by the hospitality tent's the best place. That's what we did last year, as I recall. Didn't we
Yep.
set the grill up down there?
Yeah, I think the less traffic, vehicle traffic we have going up the hill, the easier it's gonna be for cables and stuff like that on the ground.
I really like to limit that unless one of his customers comes up, and if they do.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
But I think our vehicles, once we're done by Friday, like Saturday by like noon, let's not be driving our vehicles up there anymore. Let's park them. I mean, you can park them on the way up. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of like up along the side. I think that's where I parked. A couple other guys parked last year, but most of the vehicles, let's keep them on the lower level if we possibly can. Hey, I got an email back from Luke's dad saying Luke will be available on Saturday from whenever we want him in the morning till about 7 o'clock, and he's going to come back again Sunday morning for 2 or 3 hours. So that's
great.
That's glad to hear that, because at first I heard it was only going to be Saturday. So I emailed him back and said, I'll be watching over. I'll make sure he gets lunch on Saturday, and that's something I have to make sure of, because I know Joe took care of that last year, but I'll make sure that he has lunch. And
He's a real points producer.
yeah, well, he needs to get as much seat time as possible in front of a rig. So yeah, we'll kind of give him precedence to be operating. And then the same when he comes back Sunday, let him sit down and operate for the couple hours he's there. I think he's going to have like 2.5 hours on Sunday. So let him operate. And,
You get some contacts in that time.
yeah. One of the things I want to really stress to everybody, and that's if anyone comes, like we don't even know that person, they just pop in and they want to operate, let's make sure they get a seat and can operate. Someone else it was Travis. You were telling me about your experience at another field. We're not going to name another club, but you were at another club and you wanted to operate and you just kind of stood around and no one ever offered you a seat. Am I correct?
That's how it started. And then I walked in to that club and they were all setting up wires and everything. And nobody came over and talked to me.
Oh, yeah.
And somebody did. And actually I took the initiative and I walked over, said, "Hey, can I help you string this antenna up in the tree?" And that from there it was fun.
Okay. But it's really important that we're welcoming to anybody who walks. I mean, we all know each other here, we're all gonna be like, hey, I'll operate for a while, or we're gonna be using the whiteboard, and that's another thing I guess we've got to talk about how we're gonna do this whiteboard. But for a new person, such as like if Matt walked in and we didn't know who he was, and he wanted to operate, like, hey, would you like to operate? Where are you comfortable operating? Let them get in and get a seat. I think that's really important.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want us to all remember that. That's all.
George, are you going to get over to the farm with all the cats and the generators? The cat
Cats?
generator farm to measure your
Yes.
your diesel generator or whatever?
Yeah. It's probably going to be the week of, maybe early in the week, maybe the Monday
Okay.
of field day week. In fact, that Monday, that might be a good day. I don't know if that works for you. What is that
Good.
date?
See, what date is that? That is the
Wow.
19th.
You are correct.
Yeah.
19th, yeah,
19.
where's my month? Yeah. Yeah, let's shoot for that. I will ask, I'll call him, say it's okay to come over and check that generator out that day.
Good.
And then we'll set up a time and, you want to come up and check that out with me, that'd be great.
Yep.
All right. What have I forgotten, guys? We went down my whole agenda.
Oh, just a quick question. You sort of touched on it almost. Other than the big Saturday night formal dinner, black tie dinner, other meals, is that on our own? How are we doing that?
I am going to be bringing a propane flat griddle that I think Travis volunteered to cook breakfast on Sunday.
Okay.
As for the breakfast food, we haven't talked about anything about that.
So it would be, I'd pretty much try to do short order cook for those who, are there.
Yeah.
I'm more than happy to do that.
And Saturday lunch,
Yeah, I guess
we sort of did our own thing
we
last.
did our own thing last year. I mean, Wawa's a half mile away, so I was figuring doing Wawa for lunch on Saturday.
Okay. I'll probably be arriving around lunchtime, something like that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, based on the
He dropped out.
He dropped out. Intermod?
Travis, what do you want to cook on? What do you want to cook on Sunday morning, Travis? I'll bring some food. I got plenty of stuff.
I'm more than happy to cook whatever anybody wants. If somebody wants an omelet, I'll cook that. If they want, the question really is, if they want pancakes and stuff like that, that's a whole different story. But, I'm more than happy to do whatever.
It's easy enough to bring omelets and some. Got to have some more pork, right? So easy to throw some pork in there and some cheese.
Scrapple.
and some
I will
onions.
absolutely cook scrapple.
All right.
Where's Harvey?
So I'll bring some
Harvey really likes Scrapple. Likes Scrapple.
Yeah, so we'll bring some scrapple, some eggs and stuff to make omelets, and we'll
We
bring
might
some
be
sausage
trying
and some
to
pork
get back
bacon.
in.
There he is.
So.
I'm bringing Harvey back in now. Harvey, we lost you there, man. Oh, there we go.
There he is.
He's back.
Sorry, guys.
Into the
I
Intermod.
was just saying that based on the times that everything is, it looks like it's kind of a 2-meal deal. Most people will probably have lunch by the time they get there on Saturday, and then we've got 2 meals and then lunch at the end, I guess. So I think it'd be fine just doing the 2.
Yeah.
Correct. Sounds good.
Yeah, my griddles. Harvey, how big do you think that Blackstone is? How big is that? 18 inches
The
square?
computer's actually on top of it right now. The one that I have here, it's I don't know, probably 20 by 18, something like that.
So that's about how much cooking.
It's big enough to do three breakfasts at the same time, I would say. And it doesn't have to be too fancy.
Right.
No, that sounds good. Making me hungry just thinking about it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking for the breakfast, even something as simple as bacon, egg, and cheese on toast would be more than sufficient for us folk out there.
That
I think
works
I'm
for
gonna
me.
go up and make that right now.
Hungry here.
So I know last year, and I got to look at. There's a tote in the trailer with coffee supplies. I don't know what's in there. I have a feeling it's cups. It may even be K cups. I'm not sure. That Joe and Martha left there. And I know we have a Keurig, so I could bring that up because we have to watch our power situation because that was blowing stuff last year. But especially for Sunday morning breakfast, we're going to need to have coffee.
Yeah, well, that was the laptop
Oh,
that
yeah.
wasn't, that it was, didn't have battery power. That it blew the network.
Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah.
What
It's easier just to do bulk containers from Wawa for coffee. That's 0 power. It may not stay hot for as long, but I'm thinking if let's say there's 20 people there and everyone's trying to get their Keurig cup going, it might be I don't know, might be a little frantic, but
Did
those,
like a couple
what
of
are they,
things.
1 gallon containers from Wawa or Dunkin' or whatever, or whoever does that thing?
Yeah, I know I
Just like
know
a
the
box.
cardboard
The
box.
box of Joe.
Box of
Joe.
Joe, yeah.
Box of Joe.
It's from Duncan. or
Yeah,
wherever.
But that's George, last year when the coffee pot was kicking the network off.
Yeah.
That is when I think that is when Grant went home and got one of the suitcase generators, and we just ran the suitcase generator for the hospitality.
you're right.
Yeah.
Which is probably we're gonna try and do that anyway.
Yeah, so I don't think power is going to be a problem because the network's going to be on a completely separate thing anyway. I think.
Right, right. And we'll have a UPS on it. That's
Right.
very important. You know, because if I don't expect the diesel generator to run out of fuel, but just in case, you know, if it goes down, I don't, you know, want all logging to have to stop. So
So does he include a container to bring diesel to the site as part of that generator or rental, or do you have one?
I have it.
Okay, all right.
I have extra diesel fuel. Yeah, yeah, that's not a problem. And I'll have, you know, have enough basically to refill it there. Although last year I didn't have to fill it at all. We ran the whole time with what was in the tank there. And then I went out and I brought, and he put a mark on there, the level it was at, because it holds like 30 or 40 gallons. And I just brought it up back to that level for him. And it wasn't that much fuel.
Hmm.
That's the nice thing about the diesels.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else, guys? Can you think of anything else tonight?
One last quick question. It looks like those bandpass filters are being built today. I got an email yesterday that they're going to start building them today. So there's a chance that they'll be here in time, but I know you guys don't like things that are untested. So if I do get them in time, is someone willing to walk me through the VNA testing procedure on making sure that they work for what we're doing before I bring them, or do you want me just to bring them anyway?
For what to work?
I'm sorry?
For what to work?
To test to make sure the bandpass filters are meet the stuff that we're going to be doing with them.
Well, there's nothing like real life experience for them. So if you bring those up on the Friday or early Saturday morning, we'll put them right into service and we're going to test them right then.
Okay, because I'll have a VNA with me, but I just you know, that's not stuff that I've done a lot of.
Sure, right. But there's nothing like having the two transmitters on and then plugging the thing in, and we'll see how it works in real life.
You're talking about the Friday before field day?
Yes, correct.
Oh, well, what if they don't work? So maybe you ought to test them prior and, you know, so you're not in straits, you know, if they don't work. What happens if you say, whoops, it's not in
Oh,
frequency?
we weren't counting on them in the first place, so that would just be supplemental to what we're doing.
Okay, all right, good enough.
We have the stubs, which we haven't used yet, and maybe we won't need to, but you know, it just gives us more options, that's all.
All right, okay.
I know, I have a question. Does anybody here have Chris's K2 CDC? Does anybody have contact information for him? It's not on QRZ. Other than his address. I could send him snail mail if I had to. But I didn't know if anybody had a phone number or email for him.
So Joe obviously doesn't have his address. Do you know if Joe has it?
Yeah, Joe didn't answer. I asked him a day last week and I didn't get an answer back from him. So I figure, well, maybe he doesn't have it. He did come to the last breakfast, I think. Does anybody remember?
I think you're right.
That's where he told Joe he'd bring a radio or loan us a radio for field day. I just want to confirm it and also to talk to the guy and say, I don't know if he's coming up to field day or he's just going to loan us the thing or what's going to happen. So I just throw it out there.
Hey, George.
Yeah.
I have a notice on the website that he's following the website, and an email is k2cd@proton.me. PROTON.M as in Mike E.
K2CDC@proton.me.
Yeah.
Thank you. Excellent. I will send him an email to confirm everything. Great. Thank you. All right. What else we have?
George, do we discuss coax, and did I miss that?
It sounds like a lot of folks have coax that they're going to bring. I can't remember if you were one of the people, because when I got the everybody was saying, "Oh, I have this piece, I have that piece."
Yeah, if we do need it, I do have one long run of 167 feet of DXC 400 low loss, even still in the plastic wrap for a project I never got to. So we need a long run low loss.
Wow.
Okay.
I'll throw that in the back. Right?
Okay.
But then connecting together for 3 or 4 of them. I don't know how far you need to go, and I'll bring a bunch of 50-foot connections as well.
Excellent, excellent. And also, with anyone bringing coax, make sure they bring barrels. You know, the connectors. I forget what the number is for those things. It's not SO239, but I know they have a number.
Yeah, SO238s, I think the barrel.
238s, yeah.
I think that's what they are. They got 239s on either end.
Right, right. So you can take 2 PL 259s and hook them into the barrel, and you can have a single length. Yeah. So if everybody would bring some of those in, and again, mark them on there somehow that they're yours. May just be your initials, may be the last 3 of your call. Just so we know that we can get it back to you.
Yeah,
that's important.
Thanks for finding my hammer last year, George.
What did I find?
My hammer. I left my hammer up there.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
You found my
Speaking of
pliers.
finding metal, Ron, you were going to bring a magnetic broom.
Yes, I have a 24-inch. I need to put it together. It's out in the garage. It arrived. So I'm going to bring a magnetic broom and go over that whole site on Friday or before. There's a lot of nails and stuff up there and things like that, especially if we're going to have, I'm going to concentrate on both levels, but especially on the bottom where we're going to have visitors and things like that. We don't want them to have a bad experience. Or us for that matter.
No, we don't need any flats.
No, we don't need flats.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, I do have the broom. It's out in the garage. I need to put it together. It should be a simple assembly thing.
Yeah. Yes, Bill, I have your pliers. And that wasn't there. That was somewhere else I got them from. When we were doing
Right. It was when we were doing the power cords.
The power.
We were
There
doing
we
the
go. There
cables.
we go. Yeah.
Power cord.
And I didn't have it in my truck today, or I brought it. It's sitting here in my shack, and I'm just going to put it in the truck. And that one, when I see you, I'll give it to you.
No worries.
All right. I thought, I guess you saw that I cannot do next Friday night, guys, and I didn't know if Saturday night or Sunday night worked better for anybody.
Saturday night does not work for me, but I don't necessarily have to be there.
And Sunday night doesn't work for me and I don't need to be there.
Whatever you guys decide.
Is Sunday Father's Day next weekend?
You're correct. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Sounds like Sunday's out then.
Yeah, let's do Saturday night.
Okay.
All right, we're going to do next Saturday night then.
George, just FYI, I just confirmed with N2HM that he will not be coming, but the truck and anything we need is available.
So I have to, it's on my call list. I got to call him. I want to see how early I can get that because I don't want to be doing that real close to field day when we're all running around doing stuff. I also had an offer from Joe maybe to run him back. The deal is we need to run him back. So Bob will drive the van out to us, and then he'll need to be shuttled back home. So maybe I can get Joe and Martha to do that. So that'd be great. Yeah. Let me see if I can work that out.
That would be a good contribution.
It will be an excellent contribution.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have to drive down there for all those hours.
Martha's always up for a ride anyway.
All right. Well, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Drive a muscle car.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, put Bob in the back seat of that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, that's a real important thing. I was actually thinking about that today, Chuck, and I have it on my to-do and call list is to call him and kind of make those arrangements. Also for getting it, I like Chuck. That's not a daily driver for him. Am I correct?
No.
Because he has 2 other vehicles. They actually have 3 vehicles, I guess, right? We've got to look.
Depends on which ones are running at the moment. Yeah.
Get that. But I know he's got a Bourbon and he's got a pickup and a minivan. And the big van. I forget what he calls the big van. I know they all have names. I know.
The bus,
What is it?
the bus.
Oh, the bus. Oh, and he has a bus too, right?
Yeah, he's got an airport shuttle bus.
Yeah, right.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
It's his
Yeah.
mobile studio.
Yeah, right.
Goodness.
But good. But thanks for confirming that. But I do have to touch base with him.
And what about on the back end, George, a field day, getting the van back to him?
Well, we have to do the same thing. We got to go down and get him. So I want to see. I'm hoping that like he doesn't need it back the next day because all of us will be recovering.
Yeah.
Gonna drag a couple of days before we do the flip flop.
Oh, speaking of coax, he's got like a trash can full of coax.
I know. I think most of the coax we used last year was his.
Wow.
Bring it out of the van. Yeah.
And
He
a
has
lot of our
this-
power cords were his too.
I think you're correct.
That's part of whatever else you need, he said.
Right. Well, I'll when I'm talking to him, I'll say especially coax, because most everyone here has said they're going to bring X amount of extension cords, and I have a bunch of them too. I'll be bringing. So coax is more the thing. Again, we'll just have to make sure it's labeled. Someone said, Jim, you said, I don't think I answered you. You said about you're just gonna bring a keyer, and that's fine. For us CW guys, it's always most comfortable to use our own keyer. And that's how I am. And mine's a memory. So I'll have the memories in there. So for you, that's all fine. That'd be good. I don't think anyone here, other than the three of us are here, Jim, Keith, and myself. We're the only three who's going to run CW. Am I correct? I don't think anybody else is, which is fine. We're good.
You might have to.
I'm gonna try.
That's okay. No, I promise. I will help you. Help you through a go to contact. That's not a problem. Yeah. I'd like to help Luke do some, but he struggles very, very much on sending. Very much so.
And that's a tough environment when you're struggling.
Yes.
We did a couple contacts last year. It was right at the end, and he had a hard time sending. He really did. No, I almost feel like saying, why don't you try a keyer rather than the hand key? He just wasn't making it with a hand key. I don't know if he's gotten any closer to getting his general. I haven't heard any of that lately.
I haven't heard a word about it.
Okay, just curious. Yeah, love to see him upgrade. Okay, guys. Think of anything else? I had sent out a reply. I think Greg had asked. I don't know if you saw it, Travis. Also, I'll probably be out there like between 10 and 3 tomorrow, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Okay.
I know I have to. Got a big project we're going to be doing next weekend in church, and I got to figure out a parts list. So I'm meeting down there with a fellow in the morning at 8, and then after that, I'll probably head up. So that's why I said 10 o'clock. I'll probably be up there for a bit.
Yeah, for me, it's all what time I actually get up. Tomorrow's my day to sleep in, so we'll see what happens.
Okay. All right, nothing wrong with that. That's all good. You bring your radio up?
Oh yeah.
Good. All righty, guys. All right. Well, we really did good tonight. I mean, we've been doing this for quite a few times, so we're getting closer and closer. So
Yep.
I really appreciate everybody and all the help and all the contributions of equipment and ideas. This has been great. It's been good stuff.
So George, one last question. On the
Sir.
17th, that's Saturday, 1900 hours for the Zoom? Did I put it in the minutes?
Yeah. Sure.
Perfect.
Yeah, let's do the same thing.
All right.
Is it raining on anybody? I think it's raining on me right now.
Oh,
Yes, we had a
It was
big crack of
crazy.
thunder, made the dog go crazy. Now it poured for about 5 minutes, just poured.
Same here.
Really? You got rain?
I got rain.
Nothing.
For 5 minutes, we got a bunch of rain.
We got
I'm
nothing.
out west near California, so it's different here.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
We got nothing.
I've got
Well,
nothing
dry.
in Parksburg.
yeah. Glenmore, we got nothing.
yeah, it's dry in Guthrie'sville, so not here.
Field day site's getting rain. That's all I can say.
Yeah, well, actually, when I left up there today about 4:45, it was sprinkling, not a lot, but a little bit. Enough that I had my wipers on.
Yeah.
By the time I got to go through the old stop.
They got the,
Well, I didn't have it
it
here.
is actually raining pretty hard up there at the field day site right now, according to the radar over here on the screen.
Interesting.
It's practicing.
Yes.
Yeah, practicing.
Gosh.
Oh, my.
It's just to keep the dust down.
There you go. I like that. That's what it is. Keeping the dust down. Yeah.
It's hoping the nails rust more.
Well, Ron will get them up.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
right.
Oh, yeah. I got the magnetic broom. We're going to try this out tomorrow.
I love that.
You
Magnetic.
guys are going to be up there. I'm going to see, depends on what Dev is doing, but I'm going to try to make it up there. You say you're going to be up there around 10 in the morning?
Yeah. Mhm.
I'll see if I can make it up there. We'll try this broom out.
I think by the time I'm done with my guys down at church figuring out what we need, we're doing a big plumbing project at church. They have piped a bunch of stuff with PEX, and they use the brass fittings to couple the PEX together. And we have well water there, and they're all breaking. That's a mess. They had a big waterfall.
Not good.
Tuesday. I went over and rescued them. Quick
Oh,
fix in there, right in their office. Oh, what a mess. So I'm like, guys, they're all going to go. These are just time bombs. So I have a group of guys. Normally we work on our property, we call the well, on the 3rd Saturday, but we're not going to be next Saturday. And I diverted them over. I said, let's go to church and do plumbing. So that's what we're doing next Saturday. I just want to get a part. So I want all the parts there. We're going to use plastic fittings rather than the brass. And that way, hopefully, they're a little longer lived. So, so. All right, gentlemen. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. This has been great.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Very good. Well, thank you, George, for
We
running this.
appreciate it.
Have a great night.
Everybody have a
Cheers,
great
everybody.
weekend.
Thank you.
All right.
Good night.
Good night, 7-3.
Thank you now. Sounds good, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, good night.
7-3, guys.
3. Good night.
Oh,
Ron, I was down in Delaware.
Hold it. Let me cut the recording off. Stand by.